Ouch! Hello and welcome back to another episode on the Everyday Physiotherapist channel. I'm so glad to be sharing this with you, and I hope that you've been learning a lot from the past videos. So I'm talking to you about how to avoid back strain, which is something a lot of us are guilty of. I've gotten better because I'm a professional, so I know what to do better about particular things. But aside from that, a lot of people tend to just bend over to do particular things sharply, quickly, just because they want to just get particular thing done and they're done off some other task. But the more you do that, you're straining your back muscles consciously or unconsciously. And there may be a time that your back will just snap and say, I'm tired, I beg, just leave me alone. It happens on some days, which is what I'm talking to you about also in this video, because I've had patients that they've come in before that they've been bending their backs, normal bend, but a particular day she just bent over and then she ate that snap at her back and then she was hooked. She had to lie down on the ground for a couple of minutes before she could stand up. Another person was she's a trader. She works in the market, and then she just wanted to bend to help carry up an object. And as she bent over like that to carry up the object, she had a snap at her back. For her own case, she ended up doing surgery because there was a disc issue. Another person that I also saw, she wanted to just carry a toddler and play with the toddler after service, and then she had a snap and she could not stand up properly. As in, she was brought to my place on a wheelchair. So different people have different things that risk factors that could lead to that snap and even an adverse effect after the snap. So I'll be running you through that on what to do properly and how you can actually avoid that snap if possible, and also help yourself without forcing your therapist. Now, in the last video that I shared with you, I shared how you can actually how you should avoid work-related back pain. That one is one way you can actually avoid back pain, and also this part I'm talking about bending without care. Rather than bending over to get something done or to wash plates, rather use your knees to do the work. If you want to wash plates, ensure that your sink or whatever you're using to wash plates is at a level you're not bending over. The point is to ensure that your back is not bent over. Now, just imagine the way you've been working in previous days, in previous years. When you want to get something done, your instinct is just to bend over, wash my clothes, pick up the object, tie my shoelace, and get up, and you're fine. I mean, nothing happens, and that's very, very good for you because you've not overworked or overstressed your back. Probably your work does not involve you sitting up for too long or standing for too long or something like that will strain your back. But for other people, it's not the case. They have overworked their back, stressed their back for a lot of time, a lot of years. And so a sudden bending over can trigger that snap and lead to an issue. It could be a slippage, it could just be a strain, it could just be something that is just very, very painful. So I'm running you through that in this particular video. So stay with me. I run you through how you can get back strain by before you see a physiotherapist, when you see a therapist, and also proper use of carrying and handling objects at home. So stay with me in this video. Ouch! Now that you've gotten injured, now that you've had that snap in your back, or now that you've bent over and now your back feels like you cannot stand up properly, like I showed in the intro video of someone that it happened to, the person had a snap, so she had to bend over for a couple of minutes before she could stand up. Now, in that case, you cannot see the therapist immediately because you have to think about particular things. How would I get to the therapist? I'm going to see medical doctor first. I have to let me just use paracetamol or a painkiller to relieve me of that pain before I stand up ibuprofen. Anything will just make me feel better. You can do that. But why not just go for something that you don't have to use pills for? Ice therapy. I showed you in one of my videos in the past that about how to deal with pain without medications at home. You can use the same thing for this particular time. Now just get ice, break it into smaller chunks, wrap it around the towel, and apply on the back where you feel pain. You can apply for 20 minutes, and when you do that, you can stand up, even if there's still pain, to be better than when there was no ice. So you can stand up, try to look for a convenient position for yourself, and then do that like 2 more times in duration of 3 hours interval, and then come back and then save the therapist timing. So that one still works. But if peradventure you use ice and then you feel better, don't now because you feel better forget about the pain and not use the therapist again, because you're going to come back down that same thing again, believe it or not. Because you've not addressed what the ice does is just to help you to not be pain. You've not addressed the pain point of that condition. You still need to see a therapist, a professional to help you to know what to do. Now that's basically what to do at home. So I'll just now that you've seen what to do, you've done what you can do for yourself at home, see a physiotherapist. And what will physiotherapist do for you? The first thing physiotherapist will tell you to do is to go for an X-ray to know whether there's actually a slippage of the disc, or to know whether it's just lumbar spondylosis, which is the reduction of the joint spaces in between the vertebrae, or any other thing I need to know about, or probably the spine is not the vertebrae is not aligned. Different things that you can see from an X-ray, but it helps us to rule out everything that needs to be ruled out before we can say this is just a sprain. Now, I saw a particular patient. One of the patients she had when she went for an X-ray, she had degenerative changes. That is, the spaces between the discs have reduced. So definitely she had lumbar spondylosis. And also I asked about her job. Her job requires sitting down a lot and things like that. So I can say that's the reason why her own pain came down with the fact that when she bent over suddenly, it just a snap. That's one example. Another person was the fact that she just bent over to carry a toddler, and then when she couldn't stand up again. And then when she went for an X-ray, her back was fine. It was not 100% perfect, but the spaces were still good enough to avoid that kind of thing. So for her condition, I would just say that the reason why she felt that pain, I asked for a job as well. A job was a stressful job. It was more of farming, and then she goes to the farm and does different activities. Like, so she bent over. So you can see that her own job requires bending over a lot. That's number two patient. And number three patient was a trader. She wanted to carry everything from the ground and she had a snap. With this particular patient, after asking the issue repeatedly, we realized that she actually had an issue with the back before, but she did not say anything. She felt better, so it was okay. But what now triggered it was now the fact that she bent over again and then she had a snap. So different people can come out with different conditions. Some people, there might not be anything wrong with their vertebral spaces. It might just be the fact that the back just needs to rest and then they've been overworking it for a particular period of time. It just depends. So I cannot say that a particular patient to get what this person gets. But what I'll say for the particular patient is also to relieve pain. We can use at that time we still want to use ice for the patient because ice does a lot of magic, trust me. Ice for the patient, and then we would know what to do. Then you can just advise some proper positions, and then that can also help her. Ice and also rest. Rest. Very important. Rest to the power of 100. Rest very important. And then also ice. Now, why are you using a physiotherapist? Because we need to rule out other conditions. Now that we've said that, so what are the proper positions that you can actually assume while carrying out activities at home? Number one, I've spoken about how to sit properly at work. That's number one. Number two, do not bend your back. So how do you properly carry objects at home or wash your clothes or do your house chores? It's a Saturday morning, you're going to clean the house, so you go house chores. So you're sweeping the house, you're sweeping the compound, and you go like this, you're bending your back. So all the positions that which we've gotten used to is a very wrong posture. Bending your back like this, you cannot spin the carpet like you go like this. You go like this, you're literally bending your back. That's one way like I feel like is very wrong. The second thing, you want to carry a bucket of water like this. I go like this. Now, first of all, let's imagine this. This bucket of water is full. It's heavy. And if I go like this, I'm literally walking and using my back for this particular movement. And it's very going to cause pain in the long run. I want to carry a very heavy weight, and I go like this. This weight is very heavy. And imagine me now bending that to do that. It's causing a constraint on my back. Just getting from the floor, you have to go like this. It's very wrong. The more you do this particular movement, the more you cause harm to your back strain, back pain. That if you keep doing repeatedly can lead to danger at the end of the day. That's why I'm talking to you right now about how to properly carry out things and do out activities in your house. So what's the proper way to actually do chores at home? Now, if you want to sweep, there are long rooms that the body modifies for us. That you can, if you want to modify yourself, you can just insert something that's very long into this middle part and then use it so that the room is as high as your height. Now, I don't have one currently, I would have used it and shown you, but you can also use a mop as an example. A mop is this particular, this is the eye, a mop. So you can get a broom that's also like this and also sweep. Now, for the mop, you can also use the mop to mop your room and mop your room, yes, and then, or anything else to mop, and then you'll find. So get something that's high enough for you to, rather than bending over or stooping over to sweep or to mop the floor. Now, you don't carry up an object from the ground, rather than going like this. Go with your knee, walk with your knee. So it might look very funny, but this is the way that avoids them. This is the way that prevents you from experiencing strain in your back. Rather than going like this, bend like this, and carry up the object like this. So that way, my knees are the one walking. Might sound very weird, but I'm sure you might have seen some videos where athletes, they don't go like this when they want to carry up weights. They go like this. Because imagine a weightlifter going like this to carry something heavy. He's going to strain his back if he's not careful. So you go like this instead. So that's the same way we are also encouraged to also lift objects in our homes. We do something rather than going like this. Go like this and carry that thing. It might seem very, very weird initially, but as you keep doing this, you keep realizing that you can actually work on this. Now, if you want to also wash this, don't bend over to wash. And get something high like this, modify something in your house, and then put the bucket there and then wash. The point is to ensure that your back is not working. Let your knees walk. That way, there's less pressure on your back and there's less tendency for you to come out the back strain or back pain on the long run. I showed an example, a video in the beginning, just to show you that some people go through this kind of pains that makes them come to see me later on, like after managing at home. So that was what I'm trying to avoid for you in your homes. Rather than coming out with pain on a Saturday morning or on a Sunday morning, you can avoid all these things by ensuring that you have correct postures to help yourself. Now I've shown you how to properly carry objects at home. I've spoken to you about what to do when you have an injury like that, and I've spoken to you about seeing a physiotherapist as well, and even before a physiotherapist. All those three things are things you should actually pay attention to. And that will be all until this video. I hope you learned something new. I hope from now you learn not to use your back to walk again, but your knees, preferably for your safety and for your back here. Also reach out to me on Instagram at the Everyday Physiotherapist for any other concern you might have, or leave a comment for me in the comment section below. Don't forget to like my video, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to leave a comment. Until next time, see you. Bye. This one is sorry, let's stop again. It's a Saturday morning and you're expected to clean the house, right? So most of us, when we are that we clean the house, we go like this, we sweep for like 5 minutes. She was